Meet me. All right. Welcome back, boys, to another episode of Should You Pull. So today we're going to talk about Hyufine, we're going to talk about Mui, and we're going to kind of talk about Straze and Stene, because a lot of you, I guess, are kind of torn between which one to pick, because as we all know, Stene is the next Mystic banner. So we'll talk about that as well, and then we'll talk about the coin shop rotation. So, first of all, Holiday Yafim. Is she worth it? Um, so my general stance on all limited heroes is get them because you never know what's going to happen to them in the future. Like for example, when Landy first came out, she wasn't used all that much. Then she got crazy buffs and now she's meta. So anyone who skipped on Landy probably felt bad about it. With that said, Hfine just very recently got buffed. She got buffed on her S2 to have that passive evasion and her soul burn changed, so it's unlikely that they'll be looking at her anytime soon. And you can go watch my full review of her, but the quick and dirty is she's just actually not really that great. She does well against Basar, but Basar isn't that big of a deal anymore. I mean, he's still strong, but not in every single team like he used to be. So if you really struggle with Basar for some reason, I guess you could get her. But she's the kind of unit that, she's very specialized. You can't just fit her into any team and do well. Like her DPS is not that great. If you do build her to do a lot of damage, well, then unfortunately she becomes really squishy even with her evasion. A lot of people are saying she might be better now with that new Guild Wars artifact, and honestly, that artifact does synergize very well with Hfine, but is it enough? I don't know. She is a very great RTA pocket pick. A lot of high tier players do have Hfine built for the rare situation where she's a perfect fit, but I just gotta say that situation is quite rare. Typically, it only works if they drafted a bunch of squishies into you with a Basar initiating, like Basar, S10A, something like that. If they have a lot of knights or something and they're tanking up, or they pick LR Crow or SSB or something, it kind of becomes a liability to pick her. So I would say if you have a lot of resources, she's a limited, go ahead and grab her. Otherwise, pretty easy skip IMO. Champions Trophy, her artifact, also kind of skippable. Again, like it's limited, but at the same time, this artifact is pretty much useless for everybody except H. Yafine. I know some people have tried it on, random other heroes like Ravi or something, but it's just not worth it, I think. In general, like with things like Sigurd, Scythe, and Hellcutter and stuff out there, you really have to think hard before using this artifact. And, if you don't have an AoE S1, and I can't think of off the top of my head if any other warrior has an AoE S1, um, it just doesn't really do anything. So, also probably a skippable artifact. Mui, is she good? She's pretty good, but definitely not, like a mandatory hero. I think this is an easy skip, in my opinion. So some people use her on Guild Wars defense if they have great gear for her, because with her exclusive equipment, she can actually be quite scary, because she has, I think, like a 40% chance where if you have really good gear, she can open on you, dispel your buffs, give her team attack buff, and then sometimes she can proc the S2 right after. So I have versed Mui defenses where she strips me and then stuns my entire team, gives her team attack buff, all in the opener. So that's pretty nuts. It would actually be broken, except for the fact that the exclusive EE is just a percent chance. So because of that, not many people use that because 40% is obviously not reliable, and you don't want to bank on something like that in RTA or something. But Guild Wars defense is all about RNG, right? Any RNG that you can add is favorable. So Guild Wars defense, she's pretty alright. And, honestly, a strip plus attack buff, that on its own is pretty cool. But I will say in general, in like the last month of RTA last season, I did not see her once. So clearly, not really a meta hero or anything. Realistically, an easy skip. As for this artifact, it's pretty doo doo. It's a very, very easy skip because, all it does is give effectiveness. Not many warriors need effectiveness, other than Mui, obviously. So, really not a big deal to not have this. So, I would say Mui, pretty easy skip territory. All right, so we're going to talk about Straze and obviously Stene. So, Straze is pretty damn good. I guess I'm in the minority where I don't actually think he's busted, but he's definitely really strong. I mean, he's really good in PvE as well, for one-shot teams. As far as I know, he can be used in a one-shot team for every single hunt in the game. Maybe he doesn't actually one-shot the boss, but if you pair him with Watch or Shuri or something, it's usually enough. And, a lot of players really love this hero. He's very easy to gear in the sense that you can probably put him on free gear and one-shot any tank in the game. Um, so yeah, I mean, I haven't RTA'd much this season yet, so I don't really know how he's performing there. But I think some people are having success with him, so he's pretty damn good. On the other hand, Stene is a proven hero that has kind of been dominating RTA for ages now. She is a very contested pick. I would say last season, the most common kind of DPS core was Carrot, Landy, and Stene. So yeah, I mean, she's also a juggernaut in PvE. A lot of Abyss floors are trivialized if you have S10A. So, she's just a beast. Like, her S3 hits like a truck. She obviously can't be attacked by single target attacks with that stealth. And her S1 hits two targets, and it does a lot of damage. And if you can build up souls, and obviously most people have her on Tagahells, if you have the souls, you can pretty much 100 to 0 a team single-handedly with Spectre Tenebria. So both heroes are great. So if you can only have one, it's a tough call for you guys, honestly. So I'm not gonna. All I'm gonna do is say that you guys should pick whatever heroes like art and style you enjoy more. But I will say, if I personally had to choose, and Smilegate came and said he's going to delete one of these two heroes off my account, and you can only keep one. Honestly, I personally would rather have Spectre Tenebria. She just suits my playstyle more. I've been using her for a long time. I love the options that she gives me in RTA if, punishing people who don't draft enough AoE damage. I would definitely pick Spectre Tenebria. And on her banner, there's also C. Armin. So if you don't have C. Armin, he's kind of been making waves in RTA. A lot of people are building him now, or her. Everyone always tells me it's a her. That's a dude. I don't care what the game says. To me, it's a dude. But yeah, I mean, he's fantastic. So both of these heroes are great. Whereas the Straze banner, Broman was toxic for a while, but he's largely just fallen out of the meta. So because he's not reliable. So do whatever you want is my TLDR there, but I personally would pick S10A. Now, Coin Shop, I forget what I think it's DJ Basar and Maid Chloe. So when that refreshes, I mean, obviously FCC, if you don't have her, you could take her too, but Maid Chloe, super toxic. Get her. I am going to desperately try to get an ML5 dupe before she's out of the rotation. I don't have Maid Chloe. DJ Basar, pretty easy skip. He's not bad or anything, but definitely not something you want to waste your coins on, unless you're a whale and you have so many coins that you don't care. So anyways, I think that covers everything for this episode of Should You Pull. Just to recap, probably skip, definite skip. You pick out of these two which you want more, but I would pick S10A. And for the next coin shop, get Maid Chloe if you can. Otherwise, if you don't have the coins, whatever. So anyways, hope that helped you guys out. If you do decide to pull, best of luck. Until next time. Peace out, boys.